Man, it looks could kill.
Hmm. Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for joining us for a special Tenants Talk Tuesday. If those of you that have been following the ACES social media platforms, you've probably seen a lot of posts and videos of Chesapeake tenants from the 10th district of the city of Los Angeles and what they've been dealing with because of the conditions that the owner Pama Properties has submitted these tenants to. There's a lot of neglect that's been happening at these buildings. The Los Angeles Times recently did a news story that was on the front page where they highlighted raw sewage, broken pipes that spill raw sewage, mold, and leaky gas heaters. All of this, of course, results in health hazards for the tenants that live there that are largely Black and brown families, working families. Today, we have Milton, who lives at the Chesapeake. Milton, how are you doing today?
I could be better, but I'm okay.
Yeah, I would imagine. Well, thanks for joining us, Milton. Why don't we start off with, how long have you lived at the Chesapeake, and what is in the time that you've lived there? What has the experience been like for you?
Well, I've lived here for about 6 years, and the experience has been the worst experience throughout the 6 years of my entire life.
Yeah, can you say more about that? Like, what are the things that you've seen in your apartment and at the building?
Oh, wow. Mold, um, rats, roaches, maggots, earwigs, earthworms. I mean, you pretty much name it, it's pretty much here. And then the smell like something is dead in the air. Our apartment smelled like that when we first moved in, and it still smells like that right now.
And what do you think is causing the smell?
I think somewhere under the units here, it's like it might be something's bagged up somewhere to where it's coming up through the soil up under the apartment. So, and that's where most of the mold is coming from, the ground up, and the smell too.
In the LA Times article, Liam Dillon notes that there was a smell of raw sewage, and that tenants were telling him that there were broken pipes underneath the building. Is do you think that the smell is coming from whatever's coming out of those pipes?
Yes, yes, it's even in the water. Like, it's been times I brush my teeth in the morning, I could taste it in the water. Like,
Mm.
it's that bad in some of the units.
So tell me about your apartment and the things that you've asked for repaired and what has happened with it.
Well, we've asked for the mold to be the mold mainly to be eradicated, but eradicated the right way, not just coming in, painting over it or washing it away. Like, actually getting to the problem. It took us years to figure out where the mold was actually coming from. And it's coming from up under the units. It's in our carpet. We've been trying to get our carpet taken up out of here the last 5 years.
Mm, I see. Um, and as far as like the repairs that Palma Properties does when they come into your apartment, are they done well? Like, can you describe what you've seen and how they do the work?
It's little to nothing, man. Like I say, for the mold, for instance, they all they do is they paint over that, or they'll wipe it away, or the windows, like I like how the windows is. It's termite droppings, termite eggs all around the window. All they come to do is wipe that away. There's no installation in the windows. The air come right in. The kitchen sink, our kitchen sink is it's we've had this kitchen sink in here since we moved in. And I could tell it's been in here since what, maybe the 40s or the 50s or the 60s. It's been falling apart since we've been here. So when they come over, take pictures of stuff, take pictures of the sink, the carpet, the mold, and they'll be like, okay, well, we'll come back to fix it or whatever. And we never hear from them again.
And do you hear from your neighbors that that's the experience that tenants have, generally speaking, like when they ask for repairs?
Yes, definitely. My neighbors will tell you the same thing.
So, a lot of conversation has happened in the last 3 or 4 weeks. What have you seen in response to the organizing that tenants are doing at the Chesapeake?
Be a little more clear with that question.
Yeah, of course. Since you all started organizing after your press conference, what are the actions that you've seen, like the county or the city, take to start addressing the problems at the Chesapeake?
Well, Pama, for one, they have been attempting to get me to let them into the apartment to tackle what they call tackle the things that we need done up in here, but they give us no reassurance of whether these people are qualified to do the work, certified to do the work. They bringing in people that don't even have license to be. They got a plumber. They call a plumber over here to they'll call a plumber over here to pull up the carpet or to clean up around the windows or go outside to sprinkle lime outside our apartments in the back to cover the smell, not actually taking care of the problem, just brushing over it. As far as the city goes, yeah, they say they start their investigations. They sent a few people over here, but they just pretty much been doing the same thing that's been going on since I've been here. And they'll send people out, they'll take note of it, and then I guess they'll give them a notice, Pama notice to take care of it. Then Pama comes over here to do the same thing over again, to really come to give a bunch of broken promises, half-ass work, and then we never see them again.
I see.
If that answers clearly.
Has the city responded to do like a mass inspection or to do something a little more than they've done in the past? What are you all hearing as tenants from the city?
That they did schedule a big inspection for next month, June the 6th. And they were supposed to come over here to be checking all of the units. But that's the first time we ever seen something like that since we've been here, since I've been living here.
So it must be a big deal.
According to them, that's pretty significant.
And any indication that whether or not the city attorney is intending to get involved?
No, we haven't heard from them at all. The city attorney, nope, we haven't heard a thing from them. We haven't heard from Karen Bass's office. We haven't heard from anything back from Mr. Wesson's office. But I understand but he had to let us know that an investigation needs to take place. So I guess we have to wait for the investigation to commence before they can move further on doing anything.
I see. Have there been any health issues that you, your family, or neighbors of yours have had because of the mold or because of the gas leaks that you know of?
Yes, mainly respiratory issues. My family, as well as my neighbors and others, yes. Since me and my family, since we moved here, my daughter and my wife's breathing has gotten worse over the years, and now it's to the point to where they have to go maybe 2 to 3 times a day with I got to give them a breathing treatment, both of them, 2 to 3 times a day. It gets so bad to the point that sometimes we have to leave the house to stay gone for a day or two to come back, just to get fresh air, because we got an air purifier, but that don't help.
Yeah. So if you had the attention of Herb Weston right now, or the mayor of LA, what would you want them to do at the Chesapeake?
Well, first of all, making these people that are that own this property relinquish it over to the city, because the neglect that's been going on over here, they don't deserve to have this property. So the city should definitely step in to snatch up the property. That
Yeah.
should happen first before we talk about anything further.
Hmm.
People need to
And
be evacuated over here. They can't wait longer.
yeah, and as they do the repairs, are is Pama offering any like suitable relocation? Are they even talking about relocation while they do the repairs?
Yeah, for some, for some things, but they don't really give us a full insurance that, like I say, the people that they bringing into our apartments are qualified and licensed and have the experience to do the work. Mainly licensed and certified, and nor do they have the permits. So that's me and my wife's main concern, and some tenants' main concern about these people coming in here before they do the work, and they haven't assured that yet.
Yeah. In the time that you've lived there, and you said you've had mold in your apartment, has it has Pama ever in the past gone and had somebody do an analysis of the mold to see if it's the toxic mold?
No, not at all. Not until recently, once ACE got involved.
And what was the final report that you got about the mold?
The mold report was horrible. I mean, I'm still trying to understand how to read the mold report, but what I got out of it so far, that there are a lot of mold spores and highly toxic in inside and outside our unit and other units too.
Yeah. And does it say anything about what that mold does to could possibly do to your health?
Yes, the main problem is respiratory issues. You can uh, develop breathing complications to where you need to take breathing treatments out the day or go to emergency to have them give you a breathing treatment. My family stay on the butyrol. Yeah, yeah, allergy medications.
Well, let me ask you this, Milton. I know that you and your family have had to deal with a lot in that apartment, because of the neglect. Um, if you had the ear of Mr. Najar, what would you say to him about the Chesapeake and what you all have had to endure?
Man, I wouldn't even know where to start. Only thing I could tell him is I know he would not allow his family or anyone he cared about to live like this. So, like, if you don't plan on doing the necessary work it is over here to have your tenants living in a healthy environment, then you need to do two things. You need to pay us all back all the rent that we ever paid you, and you need to relinquish the property to the city.
What do you feel like the one last question for you, Milton? You know, I know that a lot of tenants are now they're coming together and starting to fight back and to make sure that their homes are suitable and safe at the Chesapeake. What advice would you give to tenants in LA that have landlords like this? Like, what would you recommend they do?
I would recommend them organize, come together, and become a strong force, because divided like, you know, most of us is over here, that we'll never get anything done. It's best for tenants to organize, reach out to our leaders, these people that are in charge. Basically reach out, come together and reach out to all of these places and entities that assert their authority over us and treat us like trash. We can't do it individually. We're gonna have to do it together.
Yeah, the power in numbers. I love that. Well, thanks a lot, Milton.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing your story, and thank you for helping to lead the group at the Chesapeake towards suitable living conditions, and we're hoping that in the coming weeks we get some better news about the responses that you all are getting from city and county, and the results there, and hopefully nobody else suffers any more health issues as a result of the neglect at the Chesapeake. So thank you so much, Milton. And thanks, folks, for tuning in to this special Tenant Talk Tuesday. Keep your ear to the ground. There'll be more information coming up about how you can support tenants like Milton at the Chesapeake. So thanks again, and have a good rest of your afternoon.
Thank you. Have a good one.